If you feel hip pain and have been told that surgery is the only solution, or that it's just natural wear and tear from aging, there's something important almost no one has told you. And ignoring this information may be exactly why you're still suffering, even after trying everything. What I'm about to explain is simple, but it completely changes how you understand what's really happening in your hip. And once you understand it, everything you've tried so far will finally make sense. So stay until the end. Leaving early could keep you trapped in the same cycle of pain, stiffness, and limitation you already know all too well. Let's begin. You wake up in the morning and feel that heaviness in your hip. It takes a few seconds before you can move properly. When you stand up after sitting and watching TV, it feels like it locks up. Climbing stairs, every step hurts. Tying your shoes becomes a challenge. And without realizing it, you start avoiding small things. Then comes the worst part. You slowly lose the desire to go out, to walk, to dance, to play with your grandchildren. Your life starts to shrink, and people around you begin to look at you with pity, as if you were fragile. This isn't weakness. It isn't exaggeration. It's real, and it's affecting your freedom. Now, when it comes to treating hip pain without surgery, the first thing you need to understand is this. Why does the pain actually appear? Most people believe it's wear and tear, that the cartilage has worn down, that it's age. And because of that, they think the only options are surgery, or simply accepting the pain. But here's the mistake. If it were just wear and tear, people who worked physically demanding jobs their entire lives would all have destroyed hips. And that's not what we see. There are people in their 70s and 80s who work in the fields, squat, lift weight, and feel no pain at all. So what protects these people? The answer lies in something inside your hip that most people have never heard of. A protective gel that lubricates, nourishes, and cushions the joint. This gel sits between the bones, inside the joint, and it depends on a substance called hyaluronan to function. When you're young, this gel is thick and slippery, like jelly. It does three things at the same time. It lubricates the cartilage so it can glide without friction. It nourishes the cartilage, because cartilage has no direct blood supply, and it protects against inflammation by acting like a protective bubble. The problem is that after the age of 30, you begin to lose this substance, about 1% per year. If you're 60, you may have already lost around 30%. If you're 70, it could be close to half. When that happens, the gel starts to thin out, becomes watery. It dries up. The cartilage loses its cushion and lubrication and starts to grind, like a hinge without oil. It also stops receiving proper nutrition, and inflammation moves in freely, attacking everything. That's why you feel pain, stiffness, locking. It's not just wear and tear, it's a loss of internal protection. Here's the key point. Pain is actually a signal that this protective gel is failing. When it becomes too thin, three things happen at once. First, cartilage begins to rub against cartilage because the sliding layer is gone. Second, the cartilage starts to starve because it no longer receives nutrients from the gel. Third, inflammation invades the joint space because the protective bubble has disappeared. That's when the hip locks up. It hurts, it swells, and your mobility becomes more limited over time. Now think about this. If the real problem is the loss of this protective gel, what good is taking anti-inflammatory drugs, or stretching, or even glucosamine, which everyone recommends? These approaches may relieve symptoms temporarily, but they don't replace the gel. They don't thicken the joint fluid. They don't restore the protection you've lost. That's why the relief is temporary, and the pain comes back. Recent Harvard studies analyzed thousands of ancient skeletons, some over 6,000 years old. Do you know what they found? Our ancestors, who walked all day, hunted, squatted, showed almost no signs of joint degeneration. If wear alone were the cause, their joints should have been destroyed. But they weren't. Harvard experts concluded that the problem isn't wear, it's something else. And that something else is precisely the loss of this protective gel over time. There's more. Researchers identified a remote village in Japan where people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s still work in the fields, squat for hours, and harvest rice without pain. They don't take medication, they don't have surgery, but they eat a purple vegetable every day that helps the body produce more of this protective substance. This proves there is a protective factor, that it's possible to keep this gel thick and healthy, and that accepting pain as normal isn't the answer. So there is a natural approach that works directly on this issue, helping the body restore and thicken this protective gel. It works in 3 ways. First, it reinforces the substance that holds water inside the gel, making it dense again. Second, it fights the inflammation that attacks the joint. Third, it keeps the body in continuous support mode, so the hip doesn't dry out again. This approach uses natural compounds that have been tested in clinical studies, with impressive results in comfort, mobility, and flexibility. One compound is derived from a plant found along the coast of France. Another comes from extracts rich in the same protective substance we talked about. But be clear, this isn't magic, and it's not instant. The best results come with consistency. In studies, people who used it for 6 months experienced steady improvement month after month. Those who stopped early saw no real change. So if you want real results, you have to give your body time to rebuild what was lost over years. Below this video, I've left a link with the full explanation of this approach. There, you'll learn exactly how it works, which compounds are used, and how to apply it safely in daily life. You'll also discover why glucosamine never worked for you, and what actually makes a difference. How a natural substance can increase internal hip protection by up to 10 times. Your hip didn't lock up for no reason. It's asking for support, and now you know where to find it.